Good Friday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. I am glad you are along with me tonight on a Friday night, no less. Ordinarily, all things being equal, I would think, hey, listen, it's Friday night. You might be doing something else. No, we are right here in the big middle of all this. So, hey, Friday night is what it is. So, thanks for watching tonight. See the thumbs up already from 2 or 3 folks. So, thank you very much for that. That's really cool. I really appreciate that. And the little eyeball, the number beside the eyeball is growing. So, listen, I just wanted to, well, first off, let me say hi. Lori, hi to you tonight. Susan, thank you for watching. Dottie, Michelle, Robert, and usually when Robert's watching, then Jamie is watching too. So if you're watching as well, thank you very much. I've been looking at the internet signal. Jamie Templeton, thank you for watching too. I've been looking at the internet signal tonight, what we're going to get. I have no idea. Pray about it, and I go on. That's all I know to do. Mike, I saw your name come up on the little thumbs up. Man, it's good to see you tonight as well. Zeph and Teresa both. How about that? That is cool. See, I thought Jamie and Robert both, Jamie and Robert Miller. So I'm just taking a stab at that. I want you to smile tonight. Okay, that's what I want you to do. I want you to smile tonight. And I was thinking about something last night. Was a bit of a preaching night, and it happens that way. You guys know that. If you've watched this for any length of time, you know that I'm going to just kind of share what's on my heart and what's on my mind. And if I feel like it's something that really needs to be shared, then I'm not going to pull any punches. I learned a long time ago that when I feel like I'm hearing from God, then I need to do what, the Lord's asked me to do. And I've missed it. Anybody else missed it? I've missed it before. I haven't in recent years, I don't think as much missed it intentionally. Does that make sense? Because when I feel like I've heard something from God, I try to do what I've heard. There have been a couple times in the past I felt like I heard something that's like, I don't know about that. Do we really need to go that direction? But as I've gotten a little bit older, I'm not 50 yet, not yet, but I think I'm getting a little bit better at not missing intentionally. So, Pete Roberts in the house. Pete, God bless you, man. Good to see your name come up. So, I could talk about a lot of things. I could talk about the fact that the circus is coming to town and local social media is out in full force to try to put a stop to that. We'd talk about that, but why? We could talk about some other things. Did you know that the 7th NCAA Division II conference has now postponed its fall season, postponed or suspended or whatever they want to call these things now, fall season. So there are now 7 Division II conferences out of 23 in all of NCAA Division II that are postponing their competition at least through the fall. So this could mean a number of things. By the way, in case you did not know, Southeastern is an NCAA Division II athletic program. And Southeastern competes with the Great American Conference, of which I do a significant amount of work, and I enjoy working with the folks out there. Richard, good to see your name coming up tonight. Jace, glad you're here in the house as well. And so 7 of 23, not quite a third, but still it's enough to get your attention. So I think that because I broadcast sports, and there's your drinking game, because I broadcast sports, it does make me a little bit uncomfortable about what's going to happen for the fall. The flip side of it is this: if let's just say that these conferences move football and volleyball and maybe a couple of other events to the spring, it's going to be a busy spring. You guys may never see me from January to May. Who knows? Jason, Jen, both. That is so cool. Actually, stick around, both of you two, because you might be able to add something to this conversation. So we could talk about the Division II conferences not competing. Really don't want to do that. We can talk about a lot of other stuff. What I do want to talk about tonight, I want you to smile, and I want you to think about something. So listen, I did say I broadcast sports. So I don't know why I needed the drink so quickly, but I did. Dottie, it's water. It's water. Let's say thank you to some advertisers really quickly, and then let's get into this and smile some tonight. I want to say thanks to people who broadcast on the Bryan County Patriot website. I had the opportunity to talk to a couple of folks from out of town today. I got to visit with the guys that do Dunhill Partners, and they are fantastic folks. Really enjoyed visiting with them today. They're the ones that own Briarwood Mall. And have you seen all of the adjustments that are being made out there? The cosmetic look, things are being changed on the outside, and it looks so cool. I know that they were responsible also. Clay and Dottie made the big mural on the side that faces east to 9th Avenue there. I think that is incredibly cool. And I think uh, it's, and I know I don't know how to say this, so I'll just say it. The Boulder Motel was there for a long time. I think it was good that the Boulder Motel is not there anymore. It was a nice thing for a long, long time, but it had its day, and that corner looks so much better now. And anyway, visiting with those folks about that, it was nice to get to talk about our community and talking about the Bryan County Patriot. My goodness, getting to share what the traffic on the site has become, and that's because of folks like you. And I can do it because of advertisers like these. So I want to say thanks to Blackburn Plumbing and Air. I want to say thanks to Cherokee Communications. I'll also say thanks to Susan Edlin, the Durant Riding Club. I know the Pro Rodeo is over for now, but they always advertise with the Patriot, and I'm very grateful. So thank you to the Durant Riding Club, to Green Spray, to the Hub Club Nutrition in Texoma Engraving. And Susan, if you're still watching, thank you very much for being a part of that. Omnicare 365. Darla was on and visiting with us last night, and sure did appreciate that. SNL Collision Center, Letitia and all the folks out there, really appreciate them. Studeville Chevrolet, Eric needs to stop by. He said he would, so we're going to get Eric on here sometime. Workout Anytime, which, by the way, is in Briarwood Mall, and they're a nice new sign, and Lou Look is fantastic. So I just appreciate all the folks on here, and of course this entire list. And you guys know, let me see if I can. Okay, you can see words now. It's not reflecting. You guys know I don't read all the advertisers every single night because the number has just continued to grow, and I'm so thankful, so thankful for all the sponsors and advertisers. So I appreciate, and I get to do this because of all of them. The lots of things. So anyway, thank you to that. Paula, Shelley, glad you guys are on. Danny, thank you for stopping by tonight. Hey there, appreciate seeing you up there. Dottie, NEO has moved their fall sports to the spring, even posted the dates. Yes, I did know that. They're part of the NJCAA, National Junior College Athletic Association, and the entirety of the NJCAA has moved fall to the spring. So they've just already made that jump, and they're ready to go. It's going to be a busy spring, folks. Work in sports, which is good because it could be it's a dry summer, a very dry summer. And so anyway, all right, this is what I wanted to get to tonight. Last night I was sharing with you from the book of 2 Kings, and I kind of got teased a little bit, which is great. We're talking about the dude version of the Bible because we were talking about Elisha and how he came outside and he was drinking his Opera House coffee, came outside. If my signal gets sketchy, I will apologize in advance. Don't know what it's going to be like tonight. Just stay with me as well as you can. But yeah, it was So I'm sharing about Elisha, and he goes outside and he's drinking his Opera House coffee and he's saying, "Dude," and his servant comes out. His servant's freaking out because all these Syrians are out there. It looks like they're going to attack and just wipe Elisha and his servant out. And Elisha says, "No, those that are with us are more than those that are with them." And so the Lord opened up the servant's eyes, and he can see all around on the mountainside. There were chariots of fire. There were horses of fire. And I even said last night, because I mean, in the King Joey version, y'all have heard the King Joey version of the Bible, right? The King Joey version of the Bible. So we're talking about this, and I said the chariots are on fire, the horses are on fire, even the bunnies are on fire. Now, I don't do it all the time, but I did it last night and gave a little bit of an Easter egg, a little bit of an inside joke. So there was my inside joke. Steve, good. I'm glad. Glad it's I'm glad it's looking good. So there's my inside joke. Even the bunnies are on fire, or at least the bunnies are on fire, I think is how I said it. And that is a phrase from a cartoon called Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And specifically, it was for an episode about a character named Cheese. And that particular episode of the cartoon's fun anyway, but that episode of that cartoon, we quote that thing left and right in my house. JC, Jenna, Jayla, Jolie, Joseph, Mrs. Patriot, all the little patriots, we all quote that cartoon. And I mean, it is just, I mean, it seems that there's not a day that goes by sometimes we're not dropping from that particular cartoon. And so I wanted to ask you tonight, and hopefully make you smile when you think about these things. What movie or TV show, and there can be a number of them, what movie or TV show, if somebody came to your house and they had never seen this movie or they'd never seen this TV show, they couldn't carry on a conversation with anyone in your house. There are a few of those in our house, and I'll drop a few of those right now. I want to hear from you tonight. I want you to smile. I want to hear from you. So what movie or TV show could, I mean, if somebody came to your house, they would be left out of the conversation? And like I said, I did that last night, and I knew Mrs. Patriot, that when I talked about at least the bunnies are on, that Jay, she was watching, she would get it. The bunnies are on fire. And I think they both quoted or put something like that in the chat. So that is cool. So Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, that's one of them. And I've got a few of these written down. And so if there are some that you all come up with, I would love to hear what it's like in your house. And just, I think that would be something fun on a Friday night. So I'll start with that. Well, okay. First one to start with then, JT has already put it up there. Princess Bride. Anybody have that like in the top 5 or top 10 of quotable movies for all time? The Princess Bride. Inconceivable that would not be in your top 5 or top 10. That is quoted, I believe, every day in our house. In some way, shape, or form, that movie is quoted in our house. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You kill my father, prepare to die. Yeah, that is out there. Best commercial is Taco Casa. Do you want to buy a monkey? Hey, listen, I wanted to smile today. I wanted to smile tonight. So that one is there. I do not think that word means what you think it means. I do not think that word means what you think it means. Inconceivable. So that is one of the greatest. I actually, when that movie came out in the 80s, I didn't watch it because, well, the cat missed. I think the cat was coming over here and he missed jumping off the couch onto the soundboard, which is probably good because the soundboard made it through. I'm telling you, that cat wants to make an appearance, Dottie. He really, really does. He sometimes will be out in my chair, sitting in this chair when I'm not on the air. Anyway. Y'all ever seen the video on YouTube, the sail cat, where they're playing sail and the cat jumps, out the window and yeah. Okay. That was almost what that looked like, but not quite. Pretty close. Yes. So anyway, about the Princess Bride, that movie came out in the 80s. I was a teenager in the 80s. This is all well documented, by the way. And I wouldn't watch it because of the name. Like the Princess Bride, are you kidding me? Because, I was a teenage guy. We don't watch movies called The Princess Bride. So anyway, I didn't watch that. I'm so glad that I watched that. Mrs. Patriot, I believe, got me to watch that movie. And I cannot imagine a world without that movie in it right now. Did you know they were talking about, have you all seen The Princess Bride? I realize, and by the way, my numbers, I'm watching, numbers are low tonight. It's okay. It's a Friday night. But you've seen The Princess Bride, right? You have seen The Princess Bride. They've remade so many movies because Hollywood has no original ideas anymore, it seems like. They just don't have original ideas. And they're remaking them and do a terrible job of them, by the way. So, yeah, they were talking about remaking The Princess Bride, and that has caused no small stir. I'm telling you, that was a big, big uproar for that. Anyway, Nita, see, I was playing basketball back then too. Nita says I was too busy playing basketball back then. I was. I was playing a lot of basketball. Well, I suited up a lot. How about that? We'll just leave it at that. I played some. I went to all the games, and I wore a suit for all the games. Sometimes I even made it onto the court. So there you go. All right. Chase said I watched Tyler and forced Tyler and Jeremy to watch it with me. Hey, they're not disappointed. So yes. Michelle, glad you've watched that movie. All right, I'll save probably the most quoted movie of all in our household till the end. So Airplane. Airplane. There you go. This is one that I did watch in the 80s, and that is one of the most quoted movies of all. Okay, you've got a trophy wall. That's fine. I do have some trophies and things from my high school and teenage years. I just didn't win that many of them on the basketball court. Anyway, yeah, sounds like your experience with basketball, Chase. That's all right. Hey, I was a good coach, and I will say that. Well, I was an above average coach. There we go. We finished my career better than 500, and I got to coach the first two district championships for Victory Life. First girls district championship back in 0708, and the first boys district championship when they joined the SSAA. That was in 0809. So I'm on the wall. I am on the wall, Nita. I'm on the wall. I have two plaques that are on the wall. Maybe not a trophy wall, but at least a plaque wall. Does anyone speak jive? Well, and that may be one of those movies that you can't quote as much as anything. Is it serious? Sure. Is it serious? Yes. We have to get these people to a hospital. A hospital, what is it? It's a big building with a lot of patients in it, but that's not important right now. Yes, Teresa, I did. I got to coach Teresa's son, Zeph. His senior year, my first year coaching was Zeph's final year playing, and we produced the first winning season in any sport at Victory Life Academy ever. First winning season in 1997-98. This always makes Jody laugh, by the way, because I can remember numbers for sports, for years and decades, and even before I was born. But sometimes I have a hard time remembering what to get at Walmart when she sends me. But in 1997-98, we went 17-16. That's right. We played 33 games, and only one of them was a playoff game. We were in 4 tournaments, which you can't do in the OSSAA. That was too many. We were in 4 tournaments. One tournament we won, and that was a double elimination tournament. If you can believe this, in high school basketball in the 90s, we were in a double elimination tournament, and we lost in the first round of this double elimination tournament in Ardmore. We came all the way back through the consolation bracket. You didn't have to win an if necessary game. It was just down to the wire of win one, and the winner of the losers bracket and the winner of the winners bracket got to play for the championship. And we beat the team that knocked us into that losers bracket. We went 17-16. I'm giving you time to come up with your TV show or movie, by the way, just in case you didn't recognize that. And had the first winning season in the history of sports at Victory Life. So there you go. Just jive talking. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, Amy, Becca, Mike, glad you're joining us. Roger McCoy, good to see you going up there. Errol, Josh, if you guys are still watching tonight, thank you, Janelle. I will present this to you. So the idea, Seth, if you're still watching, here's the idea. I have to hear this from you. If someone came into your house, is there any kind of movie or TV show, if they hadn't watched, they would be able to conversation in your house? Yeah, Airplane is one of those movies. Back to the Future. That gets quoted a lot in my house. I don't think that the little ones catch this as often as they do, but there are a lot of Back to the Future jokes, or at least quotes in my house. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. That's just one of the many things that are all right. I don't want to take too much time here. Okay, this will show. Now, there are a couple of things that are recency bias here. And one of them is this recency bias is when, things are important to you only because they've happened within your frame of awareness, your lifetime. And I joked about the other day. It's one of those reasons. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I really don't think there's any question of that. There are a lot of people who would say LeBron James is, and I think that is recency bias because most of the people if not all, but most of the people who say LeBron James is the greatest player of all time are most of those people never saw Michael Jordan play in the 90s or 80s for that matter. I saw him play in college, not live, but on TV. So, yeah. All right. I have a bunch of those that I quote that no one in my house even knows what I'm talking about. Jason, I understand that. That much is certain. So, yeah, Frozen. Here we go. Recency bias, Frozen. Oh, look, I've been impaled. I think some of them we even quote miscorrect or incorrectly sometimes. We misquote them, but we get really close to what they are. So, LeBron only knows how to flop. There are a few. Yeah, he does have it down. There's some that are worse, but he does have that down. Frozen is definitely in our house. Wait, what? We get that a lot. I do that one a lot. And the kids sometimes we'll stop for a little bit. They'll ask a question, and I'll pause, and you hesitated. So that one is definitely a Frozen reference. Giving you a few more time. Hopefully you smile thinking about some of these things in your house. Batman and Robin, like the movie or the TV show? TV show's a little before your time. That's okay. Anyway, all right. Star Trek. Now, I'm a Star Trek fan. Not when it gets to Discovery. We won't even talk about Discovery or Picard, but Star Trek. That the Next Generation, specifically Deep Space Nine, Voyager, some of those things. But we really like the Next Generation. I'm typecast as Picard, in case you didn't know that, and I've played Picard more than once in a couple of high dollar productions at Victory Life, by the way. They're pretty cool. Anyway, I quote Star Trek a lot. I like my species the way it is. And one of the best lines, by the way, best ever in a TV show was from Data. Of course, if you're familiar with Star Trek, Data was an android. And somebody misquoted his name. And they called him Data, and he said, "No, my name is Data." And the character says, Data, what's the difference?" And he simply looked over and said, "One is my name, the other is not." I love it. Absolutely love it. Somebody called me Joe today, and I very politely said, "Joey," and shook that person's hand. And the person got it right there. Oh, it's Joey. It's not Joe. Fine. We're all good. Well, what's the difference? Joe, Joey? Well, one is my name, the other is not. And so I appreciated that. All right. Christmas vacation. Christmas vacation. By the way, Teresa, that one is quoted something every so often in our house. And if you have something left, buy yourself anything left, buy yourself something really nice. The rant that Clark Griswold goes on in Christmas Vacation near the end of that movie, which I'm not so sure wasn't ad lib. I think he just made part of that up. Chevy Chase, that is one of the greatest lines in a movie, and he drops a couple of words in there that I'm not going to say on the show. But if you haven't ever seen the rant at the end of Christmas Vacation, so worth your time. It is absolutely hilarious. So yes, now, I can't quote that one, but there are a few things. Can I get you something? Eggnog. What was it? Drive. Do something for you. Get some eggnog, mistletoe. Drive you out in the desert and leave you for dead. Yeah, that was what I think that was Christmas Vacation, wasn't it? I think so. It was. Loved Data, absolutely. Mike, now see, I was wondering if anyone was going to go to before Michael Jordan days. And Mike, I'm going to throw this one up here. Mike's going before Michael Jordan days. Wilt Chamberlain was unstoppable in his time. He was pretty good. Bill Russell gave him fits, though, didn't he? Chamberlain was a little bit before Russell, though, I think. I don't know. That one I need to look on a little bit. But yes, good call there. Lex Luthor. How the Grinch stole is not a word. Sorry, even Merriam-Webster knows that. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That one is good. Now you're talking about the live action movie, the Jim Carrey movie. Yes, we quote that one pretty regularly too. Definitely. I think all the kids in my house can quote that one by heart. Anyone else? Anyone else? Jason Seinfeld. There are a lot of Seinfeld lines that we enjoyed. That was a good TV show. Lots of Seinfeld lines that we enjoyed. Friends, along the same lines there. Friends is quoted pretty regularly. The Office is quoted more often probably than it should be, but that's okay. We have kids, and another one that's quoted pretty regularly, Shrek. We get a lot of Shrek around our house. So there you go. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Shrek is quoted pretty regularly. Yeah, 100 points in a game. It's hard to deny that. So hold up his little sign with 100 points in a game. That's pretty cool. Good night, Jaylee Bell. Granddaddy loves you. Thank you for staying up and watching for a little while. I love you. You're a good grandgirl. Love my grandgirl and my grandboy. Thanks for watching, by the way, tonight. We'll go just a little bit more. I'm hoping that you're smiling, thinking about these things. Just wanted to smile on a Friday night. And tonight, it's not a big, heavy show. It's just an enjoyable, think about it a little bit. So, yeah, Jim Carrey, I didn't know anyone could do the Grinch. And I really thought, because I've grown up with the cartoon, and my three favorite Christmas cartoons or Christmas animated specials were, in no particular order, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Charlie Brown Christmas, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Really, really good Christmas animated special. One of them's a Rankin Bass, stop motion animated special. The other two were cartoons, and I didn't know that anyone could do. I thought, man, the Grinch, really? I mean, is that going to be worth it? Jim Carrey was fantastic. He was over the top fantastic. I didn't know anybody could do what he did, and he nailed it. Anything Aaron Sorkin wrote. So you go back to like Sports Night, and I'm talking TV shows now. Sports Night was a fantastic show. The West Wing. Did anyone watch The West Wing? I thought The West Wing was pretty well done. Obviously, I'm a little bit more conservative by nature. That much is a given. Again, well documented. I thought, even though The West Wing was more of a liberal slanted show, I thought it hit both sides pretty well. And so I think that, both sides are pretty well represented, but still, it was just a well-written show. Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, which was Aaron Sorkin, and then The Newsroom. Now, The Newsroom was on HBO, and I don't know why Sorkin felt like, I guess he just wanted to be able to write a bunch of F-bombs into his shows because he hadn't done it before on network television. And so it has way too many bombs for my liking, but it's still a fantastic show. And I quote Sorkin a lot, probably a lot. The current situation with wearing mask here, I'm going to throw this one up. Wearing mask reminds me of the Seinfeld ribbon episode. Who will not wear the ribbon? That's a good point. I have a lot of things I want to say about the masks, and I'm not going to tonight because we're going to smile tonight. So I'm not going to tonight, but yeah, there's that. But I think you make it, Jason, it's a good point. It's a very good point. I hadn't even thought about that one, but that's a very good point. All right. Anything Aaron Sorkin, Frozen, Shrek, Airplane. Oh my goodness. Here we go. If your house doesn't do this, I don't know. You apparently have not had kids from the mid 90s on. VeggieTales. I quote VeggieTales left and right. I mean, and it's so much a part of my conversation that I don't even recognize it lots of times. And all the kids have heard it. They all have, and they've grown up with it. I was a big fan. The early VeggieTales, probably more so. Dave and the Giant Pickle was a great one. If you've not, and by the way, if you've never watched VeggieTales, why? You're missing out. Josh and the Big Wall, talking about Joshua and Jericho, David the Giant Pickle, obviously David and Goliath, a few of those early ones. I really, 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 oh my goodness, we get VeggieTales conversation all the time. You know, oh look, there goes one now. Talking about David and his sheep, all his brothers. He has David. I have a lot of brothers, and he did. Well, we always talk about that with Jake and his 4 sisters. I have a lot of sisters. Oh look, there goes one now. Logan Thompson, glad that you're on. Mike, you're exactly right. Red Skelton could keep you laughing without resorting to foul words. And he's right. I have always been of the idea that if it takes colorful metaphors, as Spock said in Star Trek, see, there's another Star Trek quote. If it takes those colorful metaphors to be able to get across the intensity with which you are trying to make a point, then your vocabulary is not very big. Sorry. Did I hurt somebody's feelings? I'm going to watch the aisles go down now. I'm going to watch the eyeball on the monitor go down because I said somebody didn't have a very big vocabulary. There we go. Your vocabulary is not very big. If you have to use 4-letter words and foul language to get your point across, sorry, the way it is. I hope that my vocabulary is bigger than that. Tammy, it's nice to see your name come up tonight. Alvina, if you're still on, I saw your name come up a little bit earlier and I didn't say hi. So hi, glad you stopped by tonight as well. George Michael Sports Machine. That was a fun one. Not too many people know about that show, but that was actually a good show. It just kind of got hidden. It got hidden in late night, and we didn't, it wasn't the big deal that some of the other places were. So there's that. Okay, and I hadn't gotten to this one yet. I'm going to get to the last. Okay, I think have I gotten all these other ones? Yes, VeggieTales. All right, 3 more. I'm going to end with these 3 and wrap up tonight, and hopefully you've smiled tonight. So I hurt Karen's feeling. Yeah, there you go. Hurt Karen's feelings just a little bit. All right, if anybody inside the Patriot household is watching right now, I just want to let you know that Basie's trying to get back in from the studio. So, and apparently I shut the door, so he can't get back in. Letting you know. All right. Yeah, the George Michael Sports Machine. I was going to get to that, so I have 3 left. Here we go. Last 3. Doctor Who. We like Doctor Who in this household, and the humor. Mrs. Patriot put that up there. The humor in Doctor Who from about 2001, when they rebooted the show, is so underrated, and it is so funny. And we quote Doctor Who in this house. Oh my goodness, all the time we quote Doctor Who. And yes, one of the little patriots just opened the door to let the cat back in, so I didn't want to scratch the door down. Jay Leno always made you wonder what political party he was. See, you know what? It's nice when you can keep them guessing. If there's no idea, if there's, and I haven't kept anybody guessing. I'm sorry. Anyway, Doctor Who, though. If you haven't watched Doctor Who, if you like sci-fi and you like some silly sci-fi, because this isn't like, hardcore Terminator sci-fi, a good movie did not need to be remade. Maybe Terminator 2. T2 was good. Everything after T2. So, yeah, it fell off the cliff and blew up in a huge ball of orange flame on the jagged rocks below. Tammy, you love Doctor Who. Doctor Who, okay, New Who. I grew up, and it took me a little bit to get into it because in the 70s and even into the 80s, but I remember Doctor Who in the 70s on PBS. See, there we go. I'm dating myself right here, but some of you all remember that. They showed Doctor Who on PBS. That was back when you got just a few channels. You got ABC, NBC, CBS. You got some independent channels, and you got PBS, Public Broadcasting System, and they would show Doctor Who. And the 4th Doctor, which I didn't know they were numbered back then, but the guy I always thought was Doctor Who was the 4th Doctor, and it was Tom Baker. He was the 4th Doctor, and he was the guy with the hat, and the scarf that was like long and different colors and stuff. So I always thought that was really kind of weird. But yeah, the cardboard monsters, Mike, you're right. The cardboard monsters, they didn't have much budget. They did not have much of a budget back then, but there was still some good stuff. But you're right. And Tammy, I agree. 2005 and older, and we have been watching Doctor Who again since quarantine, since the beer bug really blew up. And so, yes, the kids have been watching it. They like Nine. They like Christopher Eccleston. Um, Jake really likes David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, which I like Tennant too. We're right now on the 11th Doctor and just watching Matt Smith. I think he is hilarious. I think Tennant and Smith are just absolutely, oh my goodness. They're very, very funny. So, all right. Brent. Brent, do you watch Doctor Who? Just asking. Anyway, okay. So that was one. All right, here's the next one. This one, I've talked before about the greatest cartoon series ever. The greatest cartoon series ever. The funniest cartoon series ever. Okay. Phineas and Ferb. Best cartoon series, hands down, Phineas and Ferb. Best animated movie, cartoon animated movie. I'm not talking about like Frozen or all these 3D things like this. Best animated movie ever is The Emperor's New Groove. I think this is the funniest thing, and I seriously probably every day quote The Emperor's New Groove, and it's just so much a part of our lexicon in our house. Absolutely, absolutely part of our lexicon in our house. Why do we even have that lever? Wrong lever. Yeah, old, ugly, scary beyond all reason. Yes, that is it. I have a tendency. I actually in my house, and I shouldn't do this, but I call a politician who is one of the highest elected uh, offices, who holds one of the highest elected offices in the country. I call this politician Yzma every now and again. So I won't tell you who that is, but you could probably figure it out. Avatar. You quote Avatar. That was a good one. I didn't watch that one enough to quote it. I thought it was good, but I didn't watch it enough to quote it. So I don't know. Yes, thank you, little patriot, for getting the cat back in the house. I mean, he's not going to show up, Dottie. I don't know why. And he's just, if he decides to show up, it'll be on his time. Nobody else's time but his time. So that's it. The Emperor's New Groove. And then finally, and if you've been looking for this movie, I saved it for last because this is the most quoted movie in my lifetime. And I quote this movie. Aaron McCoy and Logan Thompson, if he's still here, Fu, who has stopped by tonight for a little while. Yeah, it's a good thing you're not a big fat guy, or this would be really difficult. By the way, that's from the Emperor's New Groove. This movie has been quoted in my house on day one from when we got married and before, and we started watching when I started watching Major, and it was a youth thing, and it's to when I was in youth group. No, not Step Brothers, not that old. It was when I was into the youth group, and then as a youth pastor, we watched. It was almost like a rite of passage, and there are a couple of lots in there you shouldn't watch, but just a couple little words. Other than that, the thing is absolutely hilarious. You've never heard of or watched any Doctor? Oh my goodness, Linda must have been sheltered. I don't know. I like it a lot. We like it in our household a lot. So the movie, the most quoted movie of all time in our house, Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail. Oh my goodness. There is not a day that goes by. There's just not a day that goes by that this has not come out in some way or another. Absolutely, it's British humor. Some of Doctor Who stuff is British humor, not some. I think a lot of the New Who translates, but we're talking 1970s British humor, and those guys were so funny. It is so well written, absolutely so well written. Yes, you should have known that. If you didn't know that, you should have known that. I quoted it many times when we were on basketball trips, Tammy. Many, many times on basketball trips. The kids got to hear it all the time when I was coaching. When I was a youth pastor, they got to hear it. When I taught everything from Bible to journalism, my classes heard quotes from Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail. My kids hear it, and we haven't. We haven't shown it to the three little ones, and there's probably a reason because there are a couple things they wouldn't get. So we're waiting, but we will show it to them. Trust me, they're going to when they watch that movie, they're going to be going, "I've heard this before. Oh, that's why you say that. Ah, I see. That's why you say that." All right. All right. Not a big night. Hey, look, it's not a big night tonight, attendance wise. I'm so glad the ones of you that have stuck around to listen to all this. Hopefully you smiled. Bring out your dad. Hopefully you have smiled and thought about the movies that you liked. Tammy, I'll have to watch Avatar then, I guess. And thank you. You watched The Holy Grail in honor of me. You need to see that. Yeah, you definitely need to. If you haven't seen Monty Python, The Search for the Holy Grail, now look, it's not for everybody. Seriously, if you're listening to me right now and you're going and you go try to watch Monty Python and The Search for the Holy Grail, first off, you have to be in the mood for it. Secondly, you may make it 10 to 15 minutes in and go, Joey is clearly on some kind of medication to want to watch this movie. And I think that some of the writing, the people were on medication when they wrote it. And some of that medication could have actually been legal. I'm not even sure that all of it was legal at the time. Might be legal now. Who knows? I don't know. I just wanted you to smile. Brian Cooper sent me something on Facebook today, and there was a case in Florida. Florida man. Florida man was killed in. There you go. Top Gun. That is a quotable movie. Very much a quotable movie. I feel the need for speed. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad you're smiling. Seriously, I mean that. So anyway, Brian sent me, and Brian, you guys know if you watch the show. I mean, he's from up the Caddo area, and he watches the show regularly. And he sent me a story today from Florida. There was a man in Florida who was killed in a motorcycle wreck and listed as a COVID-19 death. True story. True story. Um, so, do you see why I wanted to smile? I mean, we're seeing so many of these things that are out there and stuff that it's tough to. Sometimes it's tough to smile, so you have to find those ways to smile. So on a Friday night, I just wanted to smile a little bit. Tell you, man, you're loved. God loves you. God gave you an imagination. God gave all these people who wrote these movies. God gave them their imaginations. And I think sometimes some of these lines were written just for me. You may think that way too. Top Gun. Top Gun is actually that is a very good one. Where what is that? Tammy? Yeah, Kelly does the quotes all the time too. That is fine. Jack's favorite is Top Gun. Steel Magnolias. Now that is and yeah, Mrs. Patriot agrees with that. That is a good one. Steel Magnolias is a good one. I don't think I quote that one as much, but Weezer is very quotable. She is Weezer. She's very very quotable. I thought that she was good. Um, Forrest Gump. That made yeah. We get a lot of Forrest Gump in our house too. We really do. Run, Forrest, run. And oh, well, Jenny. We get a lot of Jenny, and of course, my daughter's name is so I'll call Jenna. I'll call her that. I don't know if she knows that's in honor of Forrest Gump or not, but yeah, that is a good one. Steel Magnolias. Anybody else have one really quick before I wrap up? We're heading for the 45-minute mark, so that you guys have spent this much of your evening with me. I want to say thanks. Anyone else have those cool movies like that? Let me run through mine again. Give you just a little time. And by the way, Top Gun and Forrest Gump probably both fall into that one too. The Princess Bride, Doctor Who, The Emperor's New Groove, Star Trek, the TV show, well, the movies too. I quote the movies a lot. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Oh my goodness. Yes. That one gets a lot of time in our house. Thank you, Mrs. Patriot. Veggie Tales, Airplane, anything Aaron Sorkin, Back to the Future, Frozen, Shrek, Are you seeing a pattern in my house? We watch other movies too. We really do. But man, we just like to smile. Like to smile. Smiley pot and for the Holy. All right. Well, I guess we hit the 5 minute mark. I guess it's time to go tonight. That is all right. Thanks for sticking around tonight. I had fun. I really did. And I am glad that you are smiling. Oh, is Jack old and asleep? Sorry, I just now saw that comment. Linda, I'm glad you're smiling. I appreciate that. And I hope that everyone is. That they, do you actually quote The Godfather, Jason, in your house? I mean, that's a very quotable movie. That is a very quotable movie. Funny? You mean like a clown? Um, Quotable trilogy, actually. You know what I've looked at, according to online, according to the internet. I think, by the way, that was an inside joke. Sorry, I'll tell you what that one is. I used to do that when I worked for Mix 96 when I was on the radio for 6 years, and I was did an afternoon show from 10 to 2. I was on in the midday, and I would quote things from the internet, and I would always say the internet like it was some kind of big conspiracy theory. The internet. So anyway, that was what that was about. Make him an offer he can't refuse. Most quotable movie of all time. What would you think? We'll wrap it up with this. Let's do that then. Let's wrap it up with this. The movie that is quoted, and it has the top quoted lines of all time. Top quoted lines of all time. What would you think that movie is? Star Wars, by the way, was up there too. And people get it wrong lots of times with Luke, I'm your father. Didn't say that. He said, no, I'm your father. What do you think? What do you think? Mike, I'm going to push this your direction. If you're still watching Mike Rawls, I'm going to push this your direction. So I guess that means I'm saying you're old. I'm just teasing. I'm not really saying that. But it is an older movie, well before my time. Probably before Mike's time. I think it's before anybody's time around here. It's definitely before Mike's time. Most quoted movie, or the movie with the most quote. Let me see. I have enough time. Nobody's said that yet, so I want to see if anyone gives it a shot. Christmas Vacation. No. Not even though, and we've talked about Christmas Vacation tonight, Logan. So there is that. All right, no, but you're close. You're very close, and that was the most quoted. That was the most quoted line on a couple of these charts I looked at a little bit earlier to make sure I was getting some of my movies down right. No, 10 Commandments. You would think that is the most quoted movie. Nope, not The Wizard of Oz. And I get the George Carlin reference. By the way, I'm old enough to have remembered Carlin. I was not allowed to watch Carlin in my house. I don't know if you were. There was no way I was watching Carlin in my house. Just finished watching it twice this week. That's all right. That is all right. Here we go. See if anybody knows where these quotes came from. Okay. I'll start off with a couple that you may not know. Round up the usual suspects. That may do it for some of y'all. Just because you despise me, you're the only one I trust. If we stop breathing, we'll die. If we stop fighting our enemies, the world will die. It's the same old story. A fight for love and glory. Kiss me as if it were the last time. Here we go. Last two. You guys can get it from these. I know. Here we go. Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine. And then, of course, here's Looking at You, Kid. That is the movie that gets the most quotes according to more than one of the lists that I saw today, and just doing a little show prep for this tonight. Of course, I knew what my quotes were. Anyone have that? There you go. Casablanca. Again, well before my time. It's before any of y'all's times. That is all right, I think. All right. I had fun. Hope you had fun. There we go. Yes. Yes. I actually said that one time. I didn't know I was quoting Casablanca, but I did have to get after my youth group one time, and I told them that every time that I stopped talking, take a breath, I got onto them because they would start talking, and I told them that that couldn't happen because if I stop breathing, or I said if I don't breathe, I'll die, and I don't want to die. At least not, in the middle of teaching a youth group message. All right. Tomorrow night, one more night this week. Let's do that one more night this week. We'll find out. I'll talk to you a little bit more, maybe a little bit more about sports. We'll see if there are any other conferences. We'll see if we know anything. The Great American Conference. Hopefully, we'll be doing football, volleyball, and more in the fall. In the meantime, if not, man, it's going to be a wild, crazy. It's already going to be a wild, crazy spring for me. So that's okay. We are midway through the month of July. August is almost here. School is almost here, we think. Band camp is just 2 or 3 weeks away, we think. And there is a lot more on the way. So let's just enjoy some time, hopefully, and we'll do it again tomorrow night. Man, 50 minutes. I really didn't think we'd go there. I had fun. Thanks for letting me talk to you. I know that you're wise. You are. You're wise. And act like it. Be wise with all the things that you do. I know that you use discretion because I believe that about you all. You guys are good people, and that there are so many things that God puts in your path that you get to be the one to make the decisions. So use that discretion that's before you. And I would even take it again. And I know the word means two different things, and I don't always use it as two different meanings, but tonight I will again. There are times just be discreet. Did you know that love covers a multitude of sins? Did you know you don't always have to tell everything you know? There are times you can be discreet about what you know, and that is a good thing to do. So be wise, use discretion, and do not walk in fear. Don't do it. Let that be a line that you quote in your house. Not just because I said it, because it's a good line. Do not walk in fear. God hasn't given you a spirit of fear anyway, so there's no reason for you to take up the mantle on your own and go, you know what? God didn't give me a spirit of fear. I think I need one. I'll pick it up. No, 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 no. Do not walk in fear, okay? And have a great, great rest of your Friday night. A good day tomorrow. Who knows? Might get some mowing done, maybe. Get some other things done on a Saturday, maybe. See if I can help Mrs. Patriot pick a couple of things, maybe. If she's listening, she's to hold me to that. So there we go. There we go. No. God hadn't given you a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I will sing it loud and I will sing it proud, Mike, every time. Teresa, I'm glad you smiled. Zeph, thank you for watching tonight too, man. I think you're awesome as well. Teresa, what a blessing you guys are. And all of you, every single night. Did I miss any names? Janice, at the very end, got to see your name tonight. Thank you for stopping by. That made me smile. All right. A little more than 23 hours away for another time. So we'll see you then. God bless you. Have a great night.